Jada Pickett-Smith, this is your tarot reading. I don't know what you are doing. If anybody that knows Miss Pickett-Smith, can you please let her know that she is all the way wide open and she is projecting a lot of energy while she is speaking in these interviews, which is why so many people are upset with her, because they're picking up on this energy. Good for the sale of her book, but homegirl, you need to learn how to spiritually close off, and that's the thing, she likes to think that she's a spiritual guru, almost the way she talks like a guru or a therapist. She does this thing, Will does it too, and the kids, where they talk in terms that a therapist would use or a psychiatrist, or they talk in terms of a spiritual guru who have years underneath their belt studying, and they probably do study religion and spirituality and therapy. I'm not saying they don't, but I noticed that they do it in times when they're trying to explain their actions and justify it, like using terms of like entanglement instead of affairs. I don't even know what to say, y'all. I'm trying to be okay. So first off, this is a tarot reading. It's for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say is alleged, right? That being said, it's hard not to see the narcissistic traits that are being exuded profoundly from Jada Pickett-Smith during her readings, and she is triggering a lot of people who've gone through narcissistic abuse, whether they realize it was narcissistic abuse or not. So the term I've heard the last week and a half from Black men online is emasculating. She is emasculating Will. What they're seeing, and maybe they don't know that, maybe they're not aware of it, but people who have gone through it and gone through the therapy of it and can identify easier, is what they're seeing is public narcissistic abuse. They're seeing the shaming and the gaslighting and the manipulation and the ability to take a narrative and have it focused totally on you, while also expelling the other people's feelings, and also creating a new narrative. That's what they're seeing in public, and they're labeling that as emasculating. That's narcissism, and that's how narcissism plays out in people. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not calling Jada Pickett-Smith a narcissist. I am saying that it does have the taint of narcissism, and you guys could take that as you may. So it's actually really disturbing to see that, and knowing the fact that this family's been 25 years together, 23, 24, 25 years together, and we saw the kids grow up, and to get this new narrative from Jada, right? By the way, I was rewatching one of my videos that I did about Jada and Will. It was the apology video that Will Smith made on YouTube, and I said it in the video. What happened? We got the tower. If you still see them together, they're not together. You understand what I mean? Like, they're showing me an Instagram couple. Like somebody who's, they look perfect on the outside, but if you actually went home to their home, things wouldn't be as they seem. Something that, again, I'm not calling her a narcissist, but something that narcissists like is to have the perception of having their life together. And so that includes having a successful marriage. And even it's even though she says they weren't together, she had no problem for all these years making it seem as if they had a very good relationship with each other. Because even those times, like when she was with August Asino and, the whole red table talk, and Will Smith said, I was done with you. And she was like, yeah, we were through, but we came back together. She said that. He didn't initiate that. She said that. So it's like, okay, but now you're saying I didn't go to the Oscar as his wife? Like, when you, any chance you get, and you'll say we had these moments where we were apart, but we came back together. We had therapy. We found happiness outside of each other. And then that's how it brought us back together. And you have these conversations throughout the years. They both have the same similar talking points of, yeah, we had a rough patch. We're always open with each other. We're always honest. There's no secrets between us. We made a commitment. We'll always be in a marriage. We always find our way back together. And then to say that not only were you separated, but the fact that he called me his wife when I have not been his wife for so many years, that was humiliating, because that man whole career changed in that minute. From the time he got up, he slapped Chris Rock, sat back down, and did all that yelling. His whole career changed. His whole perception of how the perception that people saw him change. His projects that he was in closed up or postponed, and the fact that you're like, well, I wasn't his wife, but I guess I'm his wife now, and now we're gonna stick through to get through this together. It's like, it's so. Anyway, I'm doing this tarot. Sorry, I'm venting. I'm doing a tarot reading on Jada Pickett-Smith. It's a couple of things. I wanted to look into the relationship with Will, how he's feeling about the situation. Also, I kind of want to get into the karma of what she's doing, because I think she's really hurting a lot of people in the things that she's saying. And have you guys noticed that she does this thing where she tells people how other people felt? Like she said, Tupac asked me to marry him. Getting a card, it just dropped. Excuse me. Tupac asked me to marry him, but oh, that's the sun card. Sun card upright means yes, and upside down means no. And I was talking about Tupac asking her to marry him. So I think there might be saying no, he did not. But let's go with the fact that she said he did, right? But then she said the reason why I didn't want to marry him was because I knew he felt, right? I knew he felt that he couldn't go through this alone, and he was just using me to help get him through prison, and I will be here regardless if we were married or not. Like, I knew he felt. She said the same thing with Chris Rock. I knew Chris was really I forgot the word she was, like, genuine person, because like she said that after it happened, he leaned forward and said, "I'm so sorry." And she's like, in that moment, I saw him for who he really is, and I knew that. She takes command or control of other people's emotions. Like, they can't have the emotion. She has to interpret it for them. I knew you really felt this way, is what I imagine. She's like, oh my gosh, the sun and the moon and the judgment are reversed. So it's, she's a piece of work for entertainment purposes only. let's get into this reading. All right, so I'll have the deck card. This is, it says change, but this is the deck card in DEATH in this deck. And Judgment in reverse, the Moon in reverse, the Sun in reverse, all reverse cards. All major arcanas. She's doing major damage to her career, the perception that people have with her, her family. They want me to take this card out. On your own terms. She thinks that she's creating this narrative. I think she set out in this book tour as like as a breakaway from Will. Like, this is my era. Like she was Taylor Swift. Like, she was. This is her era now. I'm not Jada Pickett-Smith, Will Smith wife. I'm Jada Pickett-Smith, actress, author, musician, and like everybody's gonna remember that and see that, and I'm gonna let the world know I'm no longer with Will. That's how she started, and then she got the backlash, and instead of staying on that path, she's gaslighting people and saying that's not what I said. Like, she had that Today show interview with Hoda. Yes, we weren't together since 2016. I did not consider myself his wife. We were living separate lives. Second interview. What meant when I said that was we separated and we found our way back together. Like, she's trying to gaslight everything that she said on camera. You know? And if you weren't watching it, if it wasn't recorded, if this was in person and you had this conversation with her, just you and her, and then she came back and said, no, that's not what I meant like this, you would say yourself like, oh, I guess I got it wrong. You know, maybe I perceived it wrong. I was so shocked by the fact that you guys were separated for so long, I wasn't hearing the rest of the story. You will gaslight she will gaslight it, and you will go along with it, because she's also turning the charm on, and she's patting Hoda, sorry ma'am, no disrespect, on the leg, and she's like laughing and kicking, and it's like, it's really disturbing to watch from the outside and scary. And if you've been in a narcissistic relationship, not necessarily like husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, just like you know somebody who's a narcissist and you had to deal with them, it could be very triggering. And she's doing that. She's projecting this to so many people who are watching this, and it's disturbing to me. It truly is. And I've been consuming like popcorn and wine. Like, I've been consuming this for the last few days. That's why I haven't actually done a reading until now, because I wanted to get a bigger picture. And I'm glad I waited, because she changed her story. She changed her story to manipulate the masses. First of all, she wants everybody to buy her book. She wants her book to do better than Will. She's in competition with him. And I'm also hearing that she feels she could be the breadwinner. It's a very egocentric attitude that she's having, which is not a surprise. That's, that's obvious, right? You don't need tarot cards for that. But she's very stubborn about this. It feels like she's going against a vice, and she's also pushing her family to co-sign this. Like, she recently had like dinner or brunch with her daughter Willow, and there was like pictures of it. You don't normally see them in pictures like that. It felt very staged. And I think it's because Jaden, the son, came out and said like what she was doing was not cool, and it was affecting the family. So a few days later, she's out at having dinner with her daughter or lunch with her daughter, and it's like, okay. Then you have Will coming out with that statement about emotional blind. I found that so interesting because the first sentence he said was, he used the word emotional blindness, but then the second sentence, it seemed to support her. And I really think the words emotional blindness was like the best way to explain how he felt. And he's trying his best to stay out of it. Two of Swords in the reverse. He's trying his best to stay out of it and to be supportive. It's so interesting how even though she's dogging him, a part of him feels like he deserves it. So he's kind of letting it happen. Like this is her time. He's feeling like this is her time to shine. If I let her have this moment, maybe this will make her happy, and maybe she'll back off. Like everybody caters to making her happy because she's easier to be around when she is. She could be very mean and vindictive. Nine of Coins. Yeah, she's chasing money. I think she's trying to gain her independence from Will Smith. But it's not like, I doubt, even if they got an official divorce, it's not like she's going to leave penniless. Let's be real. This is pure ego. Like this is a I could do this by myself. I don't need your fame. I have my own fame. She's hurting this is the kid. This is Jaden. It's like I just heard holding him prisoner. It's like she's I don't know. It's so, I don't want to say what it feels like because it's so abusive, verbally abusive and emotionally abusive. It just feels like she, it feels like she cut him off or something. This is, I'm hearing the words like "how dare he" and shut off, like shutting him off or shutting him up, and trying to get others on her side, and also trying to prove something to him. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're a child. Children usually know more than adults. They see things clearer. And he's not a child. He's a young man. Seven of Cups. She's out of options. Six of Swords. She's backpedaling, going back to familiar territory. And she's seeing that she's not as well received as she thought. Hollywood is not receiving her the way she thought. She really thought Will Smith his career is not over. Matter of fact, he's going to get a huge bounce back soon. Side note, but she was seeing it as because of the slap, because everybody still feels how they feel. Like he's not. You got to be careful with Will Smith and putting him in a project because people are still kind of iffy with him, which is really Hollywood perception. I think if Will Smith came out with a movie, people will watch it if it's like a good movie. And that's why he's gonna have a good bounce back. But she's using this time period where he's kind of in hiding still. Like even though he's still in the public eye, he's still in hiding. And she thinks like this is my time to step forward. And she's dragging him underneath the bus at the same time. So this is somebody that she's been with for 20 plus years. And she's okay with dragging him down to bring her up to whatever level she thinks she deserves to be. And part of it has to do with spite. This lady. 10 of coins. The book is gonna have a good run, but it's not gonna have a great run. It's more sensationalized. People are gonna buy it for the sensation of it, not because it's a great book. It's gonna be more of a let's get the dirt, which is exactly what she wanted. But that's like buying a tabloid newspaper. You read it and you throw it out. You don't. It's not something you treasure. It's not something you look back on. And she really thinks gatekeeping. I don't know why this is in here though. She really thinks that she's like some kind of guru, or she's trying to set her up as herself as a guru. I've been there, I've done that. She mentioned, I'm not going to use the words, but she mentioned that time period where she was having issues, and I think from that she feels she could help others. She even mentioned it in the Red Table talk she did with Will Smith, where she was like, August, we were helping August, and it gave me purpose. It because I want to be able to help others. She said it was like part of her past trauma and codependency and all that crap. But I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it like that. But she mentioned that, and it feels like that's what she thinks she's doing now. Like if I'm gonna present this book to the world, and out of my pain and struggle, I'm gonna help all these women achieve their goal in life. And in the same way that Oprah shared her pain and suffering and lifted so many people, I too will be seen in that way. She even wants her own talk show. Like Red Table Talk was like the tip of the iceberg. She wants her own lifestyle, life coach platform. She feels like she genuinely feels she could help others and guide them. Age of Coins. I was thinking about August Alsina just now. If you look at the timeline of August Alsina, he said that, or she said, one of them said that 2015 was when they met. He was Jada Smith's friend. They met in 2015 at a concert at Jada and Willow's having a concert. He was there, she was there. They met then. The whole family began helping him, August, because he was having a lot of mental issues, and also he was addicted to Percocet. That was in 2015. August Alsina said that they were dating for years. It could be 2 years, it could be 4 years, I don't know, 6 years, but years. He used plural. Jada said that her and Will separated in 2016. Will Smith said that he dumped Jada, not the other way around. He said on the red tabletop, like, I was through with you. I was through with your ass, is what he said. So if all that happened between 2016 and she met August at 2015, I'm wondering the time frame of when they hooked up. Was it while they were still married? Which I just heard, yeah. Yeah. So it's like, again, everything I say is alleged. The fact that the reason why I was thinking about August, I was thinking about the fact that he was in a very bad mental state that she was aware of, because that's the reason why he was around the family to begin with, because they were pouring all these resources and help to help him. She knew he was in a bad mental state, and she even said herself, she saw them, the entanglement, as a way to help him. That's a huge red flag. Like, it's so like, I'm gonna be his hero and be the woman that brings him out of this energy. I don't know. Like, I don't know what she was thinking. But it was like, that's not the time to get into a relationship with somebody. That's the time when that person needs to find themselves. Like, if you really are attracted to them, that's the time for them to find themselves. And then once they're out of whatever they're going through and you guys are still romantically interested in each other, then that's a far better healthy place to start than when they're deep in whatever he was going through, mental state he was in. And then you're going to use that time, because that's a very vulnerable time for somebody, when I'm assuming he desperately wanted companionship and someone to understand him and support him and someone to lean on. And she took that as an opportunity to connect with him physically. And possibly, yeah, I'm just hearing, and also to use that in retaliation to Will. You're not going to make me happy, he's going to make me happy. She's constantly looking for other outside sources, for entertainment purposes only. She's constantly looking for outside sources to make her happy, to fill this void that she cannot fill herself. And because she's never going to be happy, because she's using other people as sources, like a vampire, she's sucking their happiness from them to fulfill this need for her to always be happy. Like, she feels like she always needs to be happy. There's always needs to be contentment. Whew. I would feel bad for her if she wasn't so draining on other people's life. It's a very toxic thing she's doing. I can't be happy. I need to steal your happiness to make me happy. And as long as I'm happy, we are all happy. And if I'm not happy, nobody's happy. So, Will, you're not happy with me? No problem. August will be happy with me, and he's going to make me happy. And then going back to the timeline, August apparently broke it off with her because she and Will were in communication again, or talking again, or maybe back in a relationship. I don't know, but it was clear that he's the one who cut it off. She's a small little thing, but she is a bully. She said Chris Rock asked her out when he heard that the rumors that her and Will weren't together, and I think she said that as part of a way to feed this narrative of Will and the slap. Because why bring that up? You know, like why would you bring that up unless it's to add 1 + 2 = 3? Because you're trying to misdirect. Because everybody was saying, "Oh, it's because she gave Will a look," and then it's like, and now it's like, "Oh, well, maybe he did it because Chris asked her out and he found out about it." What I really think happened with the slap was that I could just imagine like were having a conversation, and she was like, "And if you're not gonna do anything about it anyway, like if Chris says this, you're not gonna do anything about it anyway, or people say things about me in public and you don't do anything about it anyway," because it felt like that look was like see, I told you you don't do nothing. And she even mentioned something like, I was giving him a look like, "See, didn't I tell you he was gonna crack a joke?" But she made it seem like it was like she was doing it in a joking manner. We all saw that look. That wasn't like a shared mutual inside joke look. That was a now what look. Like anyway, she she redirects anything that she could do in a negative way, and she spins it. Like, she doesn't say I had an affair, she says I had an entanglement. I didn't give Will a look, or Chris looked down on me and genuinely apologized. Like, she's always trying to make it seem like she is the innocent bystander in all of this. I want to go ahead and do like the karma of Jada. This Emperor is standing out to me. Maybe I should do Will real quick. Yeah, I'm going to do Will real quick before I get into that. Oh, he is mad. Will Smith is mad. He is Ursula at the end of the movie when all her plans goes to crap, so she decides she's going to bring down the whole world. Mad. Like that kind of mad. He made a decision, the decision not to make a decision. If that makes sense. Like, he's trying his best not to do anything major about this. Like, he's trying to, like, I guess, yeah, like chariot reverse, like not go anywhere or not do anything, do the bare minimum. And I think feels like she's trying to force his hand. Well, the fortune in reverse. He's trying desperately to get out of this relationship, Everything I say is alleged for entertainment purposes only. But this is a strong karmic bond, guys, and it feels like he's trying to get out of it. And it's tearing him apart because, like, I think he made a commitment, like, I'm never getting divorced again. I'm never ending a relationship again. Like, he is breaking all his promises. If you guys are familiar with Bridgerton, where the first season, where the guy was like, I'm never getting married, and then he got married, and then he's like, I'm never having children, and then she basically forced him to I can't say it on Facebook, on YouTube, but basically force a situation without protection. And it was he was very upset about it because it goes against what he vowed he would not do. And he was keep making concessions because he wanted to be with her. He didn't want to get married, but he married her. You know, he didn't want to risk having children. So when they did perform, he would separate at that moment, and then she forced the situation where he could not separate. So it's not reminding me like that, but it's like that same. I made a vow to myself, um, and I'm doing my best that I can while also staying in this relationship to keep that vow. He has a lot of things he wants to say and he can't say it. He's actually drowning in his thoughts. He's a Libra, he's an air sign, so I could just imagine all the things he wants to say. I can't say it because us Libras, we got we got things floating in our brains at all times. We are the thinkers, and we are vocal thinkers. Geminis are more of an internal thinker, whereas Libra, well, Gemini communicates better, but like Libra tends to think like on a whole different level. It's not just a matter of in a communicating way, but like self-communicating. Like you could have a whole dialogue with yourself in your head and plan out events that happen years in advance and how you will say it, and be prepared for this event and that event because you just think it all out. And like he imagined what he would say to in an interview about this old situation if he only could, you know, or like what he wished he could say on his social media accounts if he only could. Like he is really planning something. Eight of Pentacles. I really do feel like there's gonna be some kind of movie role or something. Music? He's still doing music, Will? He's gonna do something publicly to get him back to everybody loves Will. This is definitely helping because a lot of people feel sorry for him. So this is definitely helping. So the plan that Jada has to stand on top of the shadow of his career is not going the way she thinks it's going. Emperor again. Within 2 years, y'all, you guys gonna see a major shift in Will Smith's career for the better. I just heard the word pivotal role. And he's always chasing these roles where like Emancipation or King Richard, or he's always picking these roles that would make him a standout actor. I feel like this role is just going to be a regular role that he does so well in. Like it's not going to be so calculating for him to pick it. And I think it's because of that people are going to love it. Oh, they want me to do Chris real quick. Let me do Chris real quick. Chris Rock. Three of Wands. Oh, he's still mad. Of course he is. He said he told Jada to keep his name out his mouth. I love that response from him. Three of Wands, Two of Swords, the Moon. He said what he had to say in a Netflix special, and he's like, and then this beat go. bringing this up again. Not my words. That's what's the energy I'm picking up. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. He wished this was he wished that she didn't say the fact that he asked her out. Again, he wished he didn't bring him up in any way, shape, or form. He's trying to move on from it. And he's like forever tied to them, which he hates. I just said forever tied, and then we have this. Like, he hates the fact that whenever something happens now, his name is with them, Will and Jada, his name is going to be brought up in the Oscar slap. Like, that's not the legacy that he planned for himself. A part of him even regrets even going to the Oscars that day. Like, he was just trying to do a job, and all this happened. All right, so let's get into the karma of Jada. Gotta light up some incense before I do. Thank you guys for watching. I didn't say in the beginning, but I'm Magical Butterfly Spirit. If you have a moment, please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you go to magicalbutterflyspirit.com, you'll see my links for Patreon, my shop, book a reading, and so much more. magicalbutterflyspirit.com. Alright, let's get into it. First off, I'm picking up the kids. Ooh. Take it. Picking up the kids a lot. Backstabbing. Home life. They don't want to talk to her. Why are you doing this to Daddy? I'm hearing, it's like I'm hearing, I know in the book you said this, and this, but in the interviews, the way you're making it seem, it sounds so bad. Why are you doing this to Daddy like that? Why are you making him sound so bad? Why are you hurting us like that? So I'm not reading the book. I have no plans to read the book. So if you guys read the book, you can come back in the comments and tell me. But it feels like the interviews are worse than how the book lays it out. It could be because of the projection that she's doing. During the interviews, because she's projecting such toxic energy, because she's trying to prove, like don't believe your lying eyes, believe me. She's trying to prove that, and she's trying to change this narrative. Anyway, I already got into that. People no longer trust her as a public figure. She'll always have her followers, her fans. But in general, there's people who just don't trust her. People are leaving. You see the bird flying? People are leaving her fandom over this. Her career will be in forever limbo. The interviews she do, any shows she gets, it's all gonna fall back on because people she's clickbait, basically. It's gonna fall back on, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's revamp Red Table Talk. Let's book her for a show let's give her a show. Like, she really wants a talk show. Let's put her in a movie because she's clickbait. People wants to know what's going on with Jada Pickett-Smith, so we know we're gonna get the views. It's not because people want to work with her or feel like she's super talented. Now, I'm talking about now, not in the past, but now currently, it's not because of that. It will be because it's like, well, whenever we have her on the show, we get 35 million views, so let's bring her back on the show. It's gonna be like that. I think Will's gonna leave her, like really leave her publicly. Oof. I think they're gonna get like a real divorce. And if it's not like a legal divorce, it's gonna be a public announcement of we are not together at this time. Because it feels like Will is gonna make it clear we are not together. Like, oh, so all that I did to keep this public image, and now you're gonna act like that. Let's make it clear this time. I'm telling you, her kids keep showing up. Also, I think she might be dating someone who's younger than her. Legally. I'm not saying illegally, like, but younger. It feels there's this young energy. It showed up in the first part of the reading as well, but I wasn't sure. It's there now, for sure, for sure. Oh. This younger person is gonna met her match. Like, she's gonna be begging for his attention or her attention. I picked this up in another reading that she's why I did this. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that. That she's fluid, and I don't know if she'll go with it publicly, but I'm picking that up again. Queen of Swords. Tarnished Image. Which we already picked up. Oh, we got 2 Queen of Swords. Yeah, Tarnished Image. Something to do with Red Table Talk, because I'm looking at the red. There's something karmic about Red Table Talk, or a event that's gonna happen during Red Table Talk, because I do believe that's coming back, and it's gonna. Dr. Romani. Dr. Romani is the psychiatrist or psychologist who's been on Red Table Talk a few times. She's like the narcissistic expert. I love her, by the way. And I'm feeling, I wonder if she doesn't. Okay, so I do know that Dr. Romani podcast is produced by Red Table Talk. And whenever you watch it on YouTube, it has a little Red Table Talk circle in the left corner of it. I'm wondering if she's gonna say something or allude to something about this, because if people are publicly saying that Jada Pickett-Smith is a narcissist, and the her show is tied directly or indirectly to Jada Pickett-Smith and the Red Table Talk thing, and you are a narcissistic expert, I would assume that at some point you will have to make some kind of public acknowledgement of it. I think that's what that's about. And it's interesting, speaking of that, because Jada really thinks she's like a narcissistic expert, and just because you know the words doesn't mean you know the melody. Like, just because you know what a thing is doesn't mean that doesn't make that you as well. She's gonna have a bit of a bounce back, and then it's gonna go all to hell in the background. The public image and the private image are gonna be a stark difference. The thing that she hates is being alone and being unloved, and people are gonna be constantly walking away from her that she considered close. And the public image that she strived to maintain as a loving mom and a loving wife is being shattered by herself, in her own words. So interesting. Magical butterfly spirit here. I'm ending it here. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.